Have you ever felt like everything was against you? Like every time you tried to move forward, something pushed you back? Maybe it's people criticizing you. Maybe it's bills piling up. Maybe it's fear whispering, "You'll never make it." But let me ask you this. If the God of heaven is on your side, what power on earth could ever stand against you? Romans 8:31 says, "If God is for us, who can be against us?" And today I want to share a story and a message that will remind you, you are not alone, you are not powerless, and you already carry victory because God is with you. This is the story of James, a young man with big dreams. Ever since he was a teenager, James wanted to start his own business. He wasn't chasing wealth. He just wanted to create something that could help his family and inspire others. But life didn't make it easy. Everywhere he turned, there was resistance. Banks rejected his loan applications. Friends laughed and told him, "You're not cut out for this." Even family members shook their heads and said, "Be realistic, you'll never make it." James felt crushed. At night, lying in bed, he'd stare at the ceiling and think, "Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe God has forgotten me." The more he tried, the heavier the weight felt. Have you ever been there? Carrying so much opposition that you wanted to just give up? One evening, after another failed attempt to secure funding, James sat alone in his small room. His heart was heavy and tears filled his eyes. He whispered, "Lord, why does it feel like everyone's against me? Why does it feel like the whole world is closing its doors on me?" As he prayed, he reached for his Bible. And there it was, Romans 8:31, staring back at him. If God is for us, who can be against us? At first, James read it without much thought. But then he paused, read it again, and again. Each word began to sink deeper. If God is for us, who can be against us? Suddenly it clicked. It didn't matter who doubted him. It didn't matter how many rejections he faced. It didn't even matter how impossible it seemed. Because if the Creator of heaven and earth was on his side, then no human opinion, no closed door, no failure could ultimately stand against him. That night, James made a decision. He said, "God, I've been focusing too much on who's against me, but from today forward I'll focus on who's for me, you." From then on, James walked differently. When another bank rejected him, he whispered, "That's okay. God is for me." When people mocked his dream, he smiled and said in his heart, "That's okay. God is for me." When doubt whispered, "You'll never make it," he answered with faith, "If God is for me, who can be against me?" The obstacles didn't vanish overnight, but James was no longer afraid of them. Weeks later, an unexpected opportunity came. A small investor believed in James's idea and gave him a chance. It wasn't much, but it was enough to start. James poured his heart into his work, but this time with faith, not fear. And slowly that little start grew bigger than anyone imagined. Years later, James looked back and realized it wasn't his own strength that carried him. It wasn't luck. It was God, opening the right doors, closing the wrong ones, and proving that his favor is stronger than any opposition. Now, friend, maybe your battle isn't starting a business. Maybe you're a student afraid of failure. Maybe you're a parent trying to provide for your children. Maybe you're fighting sickness. Maybe you're battling fear, anxiety, or voices telling you you'll never be enough. But here's the truth. God is for you. When God is for you, it doesn't matter who's against you. When God is for you, enemies may rise, but they cannot win. When God is for you, storms may come, but they cannot sink you. When God is for you, the cross already sealed your victory. So stop magnifying your opposition and start magnifying your God. So today, walk boldly. Not because life is easy, not because enemies disappear, but because the Almighty is on your side. Romans 8:31 says, "If God is for us, who can be against us?" If this message encouraged you, type it right now in the comments, "God is for me." Like this video if you believe God's favor is stronger than any opposition. And subscribe for more faith-filled encouragement every week. Remember, enemies may rise, problems may press, doubts may whisper, but none of them can win. Because the favor of the Almighty God is with you. Walk boldly, you are never alone.